Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar, Contact Zone Expert Series, Organize Unfielded Contact Data, Get the Most Complete Record Possible. This is Jimena Mejorado from Melissa Data. In this part of our Contact Zone Expert Series, we will explore the new features introduced in Contact Zone 4.2. Our data quality analyst, Patrick Bain, will show you how to correctly field contact information that is unorganized and unfielded. He will also show you how to verify, correct, and standardize customer records, and how to append missing pieces of contact information, such as email addresses and phone numbers. A Q&A session will be held after the presentation. I encourage you to submit your questions through the GoToMeeting interface. We'll get to as many questions as we can today. Any questions we don't have time to answer will be archived, and Patrick will be happy to answer offline following today's webinar. I will also send you a link to a recording of today's webinar via email, so you can follow up on anything you missed or pass the information on to colleagues. Okay, let's get started. It is my pleasure to introduce Patrick Bain, our data quality analyst.
Hi everyone, my name is Patrick Bain and I'm the sales engineer and channel manager for Contact Zone. And today we're going to, of course, talk about Contact Zone and specifically the new features introduced in this quarter's Contact Zone 4.2. I want to remind you that Contact Zone delivers powerful and scalable contact data management capabilities that is simple for anyone to use. We all have the problem. We have wherever we get data from, sometimes we get it from other companies or sometimes we get it from web forms online. The data comes in as inaccurate, invalid. It could be missing some information. We have duplicate records, or it's even unstandardized. And the solution is, of course, Melissa Data's Contact Zone. Using this product, we can quickly and easily validate information, append missing information, standardize it to the common formats, and even update and enrich the information with additional fields. This tool really allows us to quickly and easily access Melissa Data's reference data. So on the right side here, you will see the Contact Zone ETL tool. It's a GUI tool, so it's all drag and drop. So as you see, it's a simple user interface that you just all you need to do to start your process is to drag and drop it to the palette there. You can source and target anything. There's over 140 different connectors to target and source whatever file formats you have, such as Excel, flat files, CSV, commonly used databases and table formats such as DB2 and Oracle and SQL. So there's really a lot of different ways to connect to your data. And our Melissa Data data quality suite is built into this tool already, so there's no other additional installers or any other hassles with using our products. And of course, it's easy enough for the novice user, but if you're a programmer or someone that's familiar with ETL tools and programming, you will have a powerful experience with this because there's script components and you can go above and beyond what the normal capabilities will be by using your own logic and configurations. I zoomed in here to the toolbox and you can see there's anything from Salesforce input here to CSV and Access input and other table formats that you can input. So focusing on the Melissa box here, we have all of our components, and I would like to quickly go through them. Some of you may have used this product before and know what these do. Others of you this might be your first time actually seeing this product. So we see Contact Verify, this first component, standardizes, verifies, and corrects US and Canadian addresses, names, phone numbers, and emails. Our next component is the Global Verify component. It standardizes and corrects addresses, international addresses for over 240 countries. And we can even append geocoordinates for a lot of those addresses. Number Locator component. Using the visitor's IP, we can return the geographic location and append latitude and longitude, as well as some other information for that IP. Matchup is our product to recognize duplicates and dedupe your data sets. So with our specific domain knowledge, we are able to create custom matching rules as well as use fuzzy matching algorithms to really cleanse and standardize and show you what records and files are duplicates. And this is perhaps the most exciting component we have. This is our flagship product. It is called Personator, and we can not only correct and cleanse your addresses, but we can go a step further and append the missing names, phone numbers, emails, and geocoordinates. And we can verify that a name corresponds to an address or to a phone or to an email. So this is a really powerful solution that we worked really hard on when we're throwing all of our resources into. This uses a multi-source data set to make it more broad on the data and how much information we're able to provide. Next, we have our pre-sort component. Any of you mailers out there will be familiar with the USPS pre-sort. This is a USPS PAVE Gold certified product, and it allows you to qualify for first class and standard bulk mail discounts through the USPS. And lastly, we have Smart Mover. This is the USPS certified national change of address database. And coming soon, we will have the Canadian change of address in this product as well. So let's jump into the new features introduced in Contact Zone 4.2 for this quarter. First, we have added the mail.dap capability to the pre-sort component. Now this component now has the additional fields and will generate the digital formats required to upload to the USPS to qualify for those postal discounts. Next, in our Global Verify component, we have a delivery lines option. So what's this do? So you'll see my input up there, Bahia Blanca in Argentina. It comes through on the bottom here, and you'll see that address lines 1 through 3 has the standardized formatted address, how it would turn a mailing label. But with this option on, it actually removes the postal code and administrative area or locality. Now, why is this important? I have customers that come to me with legacy systems, and they can't afford having additional address lines or additional information that's duplicated in other areas. So with this turned on, you still get the locality and postal code, but it's all in the parsed information below. So you can see with it off, it's all returned address lines 1 through 3, and with it turned on, that information comes out in locality, administrative area, sub-administrator, and so on. And perhaps the most exciting feature is our freeform parse functionality within the Personator component. You can see we have a fairly simple line coming through. It's undelimited, really. It's a single line. And using this service, we can parse out the pieces of information and put it into the proper location while appending missing information. Now, this was a relatively simple example here, but I've seen before when you get more advanced addresses such as those that have apartments and suites, it really takes a lot of work to get those correctly parsed out, and oftentimes requires manual intervention. Regular expressions go a long way in helping, but using our domain knowledge, we can accurately and quickly standardize and correct any of the information coming through. So I'd like to get off into the demo real fast, and we're going to focus today on the freeform parse here. So we get over to my desktop here. All right. So let me start up Contact Zone. And let's create a new transformation here. So we have a new transformation on the screen. And we're going to target a CSV file. So I'm going to drag and drop that. We're going to double click on the component, and we're going to locate that file. I just so happen to locate it on the desktop for us to make it simple. So the input is a CSV file. It's actually just one field, so let me get fields. It's contact record. Let's preview this. I want to show you what we have coming in. So my contact record here, you'll see the name is ran into the address field. There is no email coming through on this, and the phone number is actually coming before the zip code. Not a really good format. And you'll see a lot of these are missing. This is missing emails. Some of these are missing zips and cities and states. And some are missing names. So it's just a myriad of different formats coming through. So that looks good. We're going to go on to, let's use the personator component and the freeforms part of it. Let's do a drag and drop there. Let's open up the personator component. As you'll see, the relatively simple interface, there's two buttons here, one for freeform and one for the parse discrete fields. So we're going to use freeform, and we're going to input the contact record. Actions, let's do the verify and append. If it doesn't have information in the incoming record, but our reference data has it, we're going to append the record when it's blank. Output, maybe I want geocoordinates. So let's go add the geocoordinates group here. So I'm going to click on geocode here. I'm going to say add group. And at the bottom here, you will see the geocoordinates have been added, latitude and longitude. So we can see all the output columns here. Pass through, I'm just going to say, let's pass through the contact record just so we can see what we've done, the before and after. And the output, we're just going to output everything in the same column. So let's output to an Excel here. When we get to the output box, and drag and drop that. We make a connection, create a new target filter, and we're good to go here. So I just name this file, let's call it file out. Change some of these settings here. Let's do a get fields. So you can see all of my original contact record string coming through, and then all of the Melissa data added fields. So let's save this. Just going to name it cleanse, and it's going to go. So what it's doing right now is it's multi-threading in the background and it's hitting our servers. This is a web service behind the scenes that accesses the contact or the reference data, and it's multi-threading, so it's relatively fast. You can expect probably, I'd say conservatively, 100 to 150,000 records an hour cleansing. As you'll see, it's almost done here. Just wait a few more seconds. Okay, it's finished now. So let's go over to our file out here, what we've specified. So as I scroll through this, you'll see that everything was, you'll see that her name was parsed out for this first person, and we have address line and city and state all in their proper fields, along with an email address appended. And we can really tell all this through the results codes here. We have results codes depending on if it's a valid address or if the phone number and email address are verified. And specifically the DA codes are what tells us that we've appended certain information. So we've not only taken the address record that came in undelimited and parsed it out into the proper fields, but we've also appended the missing information. So these are, we've appended the email address here. Here we've appended a name. So looking through this file, we have a relatively clean and proper file here. So that's how simple it is to cleanse and parse your information just by using the personator component with Contact Zone. As you saw, there was no programming required. and it's just drag and drop and just a couple of settings and you're up and running. So let me here. So Personator Freeform helps with data migrations from legacy systems. A lot of customers have lines that from legacy systems that are undelimited that just come in single tab delimited or space delimited formats. And this really helps with that. Pre-sort through the new mail.dat digital format, you can qualify for USPS postal discounts. And then the global verified delivery lines, you're able to store addresses in commonly accepted formats or formats that are more like what we're used to here in the United States for easier setup and use. And I want to have everyone keep in mind that we're always updating and improving our products. So coming soon, you will see that the Personator component, we're going to even be able to pin more information. And I have it listed out here. We're going to be able to pin date of birth, dwelling type, income, marital status, length of residence, presence of children in the household, occupation, and whether the person's a homeowner or renter. And also in some of our other products, we're going to add Canadian change of address to Smart Mover and an improved global component you will shortly see, having the cleansing for names, phones, and emails all in one simple step. So I want everyone to be able to go out and get started with a no obligation trial for Contact Zone. So call us at 1-800-MELISSA or browse to melissadata.com/free-CZ. That is melissadata.com/free-CZ, and get your trial to really try this out. Now this 4.2 will be out by the end of the week, so if you're waiting for those features, by the end of the week you should be able to get a download to try out any of these new functionalities within it.
Thank you, Patrick. The floor is now open for questions. If you have any questions, please type them in right now. What is the accuracy rate?
Yes. So the accuracy rate really depends on, it's hard to gauge because every customer has addresses and phone numbers and information from different places. Some lists will have a pinned rate, a better rate of accuracy, and others will have a little bit less. So it's all relative to what data you have and where it is. So it's kind of a hard question to answer. What I would tell you to do is actually just go out and get a free trial and try for yourself and see how good it is for you and your company and your data. And really, you will see that it is going to be very valuable to you.
Can you batch the process?
So by default, the components actually do a batch process. They're sending in arrays of 100 at a time, multi-threaded. I think it's about 8 threads at a time. So you're sending in 800 addresses at a single time, and that's to make the process faster. So yes, by default, it does multi-thread.
For the Personator component, from where is the missing appended data pulled?
We pull it from multiple sources. It's more of a proprietary process that we are combining record sets from multiple places. But it is everything from magazine subscriptions to some credit information. So with using these multiple sources, we're able to compile them together and get a single accurate view of a customer. So that's how we're able to tell the phone number and address, and a lot of this other demographic locations is from these multiple data sources.
What is the cost?
That's a very good question. It's here at Melissa Data, everything is tier-based. So depending on your tier, you will get your cost will depend on that tier, basically. How many records are you going to run in a year? So just by that estimate, we're able to tell you how much. Of course, the higher tiers scale to a lower per record cost. So if you're someone that runs a lot of data, you will get a lower cost on your tier.
I don't see any more questions, but I'll give you guys a few more minutes if you have any.
Yeah.
Is it HIPAA compliance?
That's a very good question. So we do not record anyone's request through our web service, and the requests are done via HTTPS, so it's secure. Some companies would rather not send their data outside their organization. And if you're one of those companies that wants to use Personator and the reference data, we might have options for you to consider. Otherwise, we do have local products that can sit locally. They don't necessarily append the missing information, but we can cleanse and correct the addresses and names and phone numbers. So it just depends if you're able to have the data leave your premise, like I say. These are for correcting the address that have personable file information. Yeah. Yeah, person health information per PHI.
Can we use it for correcting the addresses for letters that have PHI information?
So there's probably several ways you can do this. You can either use one of our local solutions that have the databases locally and just cleanse the addresses. The data won't leave your premises, or we even have virtual appliances that sit on site that it's just your personal appliance that your whole organization can use. So the data will never leave your premise. As for using Personator and the append features, that's a little bit more difficult of a question to answer because we do not record data here, the requests, and we are secure. We're using HTTPS. You can send in the addresses and whatnot. And get an accurate append. It just depends on your organization and the rules within it. I'm not sure if you can or cannot. So that's probably more information I would have to get for you. Okay. Yeah.
So it looks like we're out of time. For any additional questions, you can contact Patrick by email or phone. His information is provided on the screen. Once again, thank you for attending today. I will send out a link to a recording of today's webinar. You should expect to receive it via email by the end of the week. Have a wonderful day.